Welcome back, everyone, to our seventh episode of season 6 of the Truth and Freedom podcast, where awakening begins with asking the question most people are afraid to ask. I'm your host, Dr. Dan Amzalag, and this is not just another podcast. This is a journey into awareness, courage, and truth. Now, there's a powerful truth about life that many people struggle to accept. The past cannot be changed, but it can continue to control us if we allow it to live inside our present. Now, today's episode is about emotional freedom, and specifically, the courage it takes to release the past. Now, every human being carries memories. Some are beautiful and uplifting, but others are heavy. They come from moments of betrayal, loss, disappointment, rejection, or pain. These experiences shape us, and sometimes they leave emotional scar that quietly follows us through life. The problem is not that painful experiences happen. Pain is a part of the human journey. The real challenge is what we do with those experiences afterwards. Now, many people unknowingly become prisoners of their past. They replay old conversation, relive old wounds, and revisit moments where they felt hurt, abandoned, or misunderstood. Over time, these memories stop being events that happen. They become emotional identities. Now, someone who was betrayed may begin to believe they cannot trust anyone again. Someone who was rejected may begin to believe they're not worthy of love. Or someone who failed may begin to believe they're incapable of success. And just like that, the past begins to shape the future or the existing present. But emotional freedom begins the moment we understand something important. Our past experiences are chapters in our story, not the entire book. What happens to you matters. Your pain is real. Your struggles are valid. But those experiences do not have the authority to define who you are becoming. The challenge many people face is that holding on to the past can feel strangely familiar. Even painful memories can become part of our comfort zone. We know the story. We know the narrative. We know the emotions attached to it. Letting go sometimes feels like losing part of our identity. But emotional freedom requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? We should begin asking, what can this experience teach me? Pain has the potential to become wisdom when we allow ourselves to grow from it. Forgiveness is often misunderstood in this process. Many people believe forgiveness means excusing harmful behavior or pretending that something painful never occurred. But forgiveness is not about approving what happened. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional grip that the past has on your present life. When we hold into anger, resentment, or bitterness, we often believe we are protecting ourselves. But in reality, we are carrying emotional weight that drains our energy and limits our ability to move forward. Emotional freedom does not mean forgetting the past. It means refusing to let it dictate your future. Think of it like carrying a heavy suitcase everywhere you go. At some point, you must ask yourself whether that weight is helping you move forward or holding you back. Many people delay healing because they believe time alone will erase emotional wounds. But time does not automatically heal everything. Healing requires awareness, reflection, and sometimes the courage to confront difficult emotions. It requires acknowledging what happened, understanding how it affected you, and deciding that you deserve a future that is not defined by yesterday's pain. That decision is incredibly powerful. It is a moment when you reclaim your emotional autonomy. One of the most transformative things we can do is begin separating the event from our identity. A painful experience may have happened in your life, but it does not have to become who you are. You are not your mistakes. You are not your heartbreaks. And you are not your worst moments. But you are the person who survived them. You are the person who learned from them. You are the person who has the ability to grow beyond them. Emotional freedom also involves compassion, especially towards yourself. Sometimes we hold on to guilt for choices we made years ago. We replay decisions we wish we had handled differently. But growth means recognizing that the person you were at the time did this the best they could with the awareness they had. Self-compassion allows healing to begin. So when we treat ourselves with understanding rather than constant judgment, we create space for transformation. And once that space opens, something remarkable happens. The past begins to lose its emotional power. Memories that once felt overwhelming become lessons. Pain that once felt permanent becomes part of a story of resilience. Releasing the past does not mean life suddenly becomes perfect. Challenges will still appear. Difficult moments will still arise. But when emotional freedom takes root, those challenges no longer carry the same weight. Now you face them with greater strength, greater clarity, and greater peace. Because your energy is no longer tied to what already happened, you are investing in it what is still possible. So today, I invite you all to reflect on something very important. Is there a moment from your past that still holds emotional power over your present life? Is there resentment, regret, or pain that you have been carrying longer than necessary? If so, consider the possibility that emotional freedom is waiting on the other side of letting go. Not forgetting, not denying, but releasing. Because your future deserves more space than your past has been occupying. Life always moves forward. And when we choose to release emotional weight, we give ourselves the opportunity to move forward with it, lighter, wiser, and more free. True freedom is not just external, it is emotional. And sometimes the most powerful act of freedom is simply deciding that yesterday no longer gets to control tomorrow. On that note, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today on Truth and Freedom, and I look forward to continuing this journey of awareness, courage, and freedom with you in our next episode. Until then, my little friends, stay curious, stay awake, and stay free.